This is homework worksheet 4.1 and page 126, problems 1 through 16. It says solve, show your work, give all answers in simplest form. Mr. Tolman buys a 2-pound lobster and a 1-pound 4 ounces of shrimp. Find the ratio of the weight of the lobster to the weight of the shrimp. So it's easiest to work in ounces because we already have the ounces here. So we would take the 2 pounds lobster and we'd multiply it by 16 because that gives us the number of ounces. So 2 times 16 ounces is 32 ounces of lobster. Then we have 1 pound 4 ounces of shrimp. So we take the 1 pound, we times it by 16, that's going to give us the ounces, and we're going to get 16 ounces of shrimp. But we have to include the additional 4 ounces of shrimp. So 16 ounces plus 4 ounces equals 20 ounces. Now we need to add them up, or we need to compare them. So we have the weight of the lobster, which is 32 ounces, because it says find the ratio of the weight of the lobster. So this is the lobsters over the weight of the shrimp, which is 20 ounces. From there, we can reduce both by 4, and we get 8 to 5 ratio, and that would be your answer. Next question. Taylor is making punch. She gives 1 gallon of orange juice. She mixes 1 gallon of orange juice, 3 quarts of cranberry juice, 5 pints of apple juice, and 8 ounces of lemon juice in a large pitcher. Find the ratio of the following amounts. And then it goes through the various amounts. Now the issue here is we've got to decide what we want to work with. And if I look to this, I say 8 ounces. Well, I know that's 1 cup. And I can convert pints to cups, and I can convert quarts to cups, and I can convert gallons to cups. The only issue is I've got to come up. I usually have to use my drawing. So that's what we'll do. So if we look at this, we can see that we've got the gallon, and in each side, inside of every gallon, there's 4 quarts. Inside of each quart is 2 pints, and inside of every pint is 2 cups. Now we can start going back to this. It says apple juice to orange juice. Now again, I said that we should convert them all to cups because that just makes it easier. So we have to figure out how many cups of orange juice there are. We've got 1 gallon of orange juice. Okay, so that means that we've got to figure out how many cups there are in a gallon. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cups of OJ. So I'm going to write that down here to make it easier for us. OJ equals 16 cups. Then we look at it and we say apple juice, or excuse me, then we look over and we're trying to find the apple juice. So we have 5 pints of apple juice. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So then we have to set up a ratio. It's asking for orange juice, which is 16 cups, to apple juice, which is 10 cups. We have to reduce, so I would divide both of these by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. Next, we'll look at cranberry juice and apple juice. Well, I don't know how many cups there are of cranberry juice, so I'll put cranberry juice down here. And we look and we see that we have 3 quarts of cranberry juice. So we count up the number of quarts or cups in cranberry juice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we have 12 cups of cranberry juice. Now we have to set up our ratio. And it says cranberry juice to apple juice. So we have 12 to the number of apple juice, which is 10. Both of those can be reduced by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. Let's move this up a little bit. Or we can move the whole thing down. That would work. Now, cranberry juice to orange juice. Well, we already have most of the work done, so that's nice. Cranberry juice to orange juice. We have 12 cups of cranberry juice. And we have 16 cups of orange juice. Which then comes out to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 4 this time, because 4 goes into 12 and 4 goes into 16, and we get 3/4. I just realized that we skipped over the apple juice and the orange juice. So I'll do it right here. Just make my pen a little smaller. So we have apple juice to orange juice. We have 10 cups of apple juice, and we don't know how many cups of orange or lemon juice we have. So lemon juice equals, and we look back up here, when there's 8 ounces of lemon juice, that's 1 cup. So it'd be 10 over 1. Next, lemon juice to orange juice. So we have 1 cup of lemon juice, and we have 16 cups, and that would be it. And I go back, circle my answers so that my teacher knows exactly my answer for each problem. And on to the next one. Hamza and Leah bake 108 oatmeal bars. Hamza makes 20 more bars than Liam. Find the ratio of the number of oatmeal bars Hamza bakes to the number of oatmeal bars Liam bakes. Okay, this is a little difficult because we know that Hamza bakes 20 more, but we do not know how much each one of them bakes. The easiest way to do this is to get rid of this 20 more. Okay, and the way that we would do that is we would take 108 and we would subtract out 20. We now know that between the two of them, they both at least baked 88. Well, there's 2 people, so 88 people divided by 2 equals 44. That means that each person baked at least 40. But the problem is now we know that everybody at least baked 44. But we've got to figure out how many Liam baked and how many Hamza baked. And we know that Hamza baked 20 more, so we would take our 44 and we would add 20 to it, and we get 64 total. Therefore, if we're doing Hamza, this is Hamza, and Liam, this would be Liam, we would have, again, I'm going to go back, Hamza to Liam, so that even though it's a weird fraction, it's going to be 64 for Hamza over Liam, which is 44. Probably capitalize this person. Mrs. Walsh will not be happy. There we go. Now we need to reduce both of them, so I would divide by 4, and I get 16/11 as our ratio. Next problem. This is going to be a bonus, so I'm not going to go over it. If anybody comes up with the correct answer, I'll add 3 points to their homework grade. Okay, Kevin's monthly allowance is $42 and Mike's monthly allowance is $63. So we'll set up the ratio right away. Kevin is 42 and Mike is 63. Now, it says how many times Mike's monthly allowance is Kevin's monthly allowance. So what are we timesing 63 by to get 42? Now the issue arises here because you're really making it smaller. So you know that it's going to be a fraction. As I told you in class, if we have this type of situation. It's just easiest to reduce, okay? So I know that 7 goes into both of these numbers. So I would divide both the numerator and the denominator by 7. And I end up with 6/9. Now I look at this and I say, uh-oh, that's not in simplest form. So I would divide by 3 again. And I come up with 2/3. And if we want to check it, what we can do is we can say 63 over 1 times 2/3. And I always cross simplify. So 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 63 9 times. And we end up with And as I was doing this early in the morning, I realized that I made a mistake. So go back to here. 3 goes into 63 21 times. 21 times 2 is 42, and that's the amount that Kevin makes up top. So our answer of 2/3 is correct. I'd have to hurry up because I'm only allowed to upload 15 minutes at a time. But the ratio of the weight of vegetables sold to the weight of fruits sold is 45 to 144. So we set it up our ratio 45 over 144. And it says how many times the weight of the vegetables sold is the weight of the fruits. So make sure I have my labels here. So we have to figure out how many times 45 goes into 144. So 144 divided by 45, and 45 goes into 144 3 times. We end up with 135, and we end up with 9 left over. Sorry for the mess, which is 3 and 9/45, and we would reduce that down to 3 and 1/5. What fraction of the total weight of vegetables and fruits sold is the weight of the vegetables sold? The key here is the total. So you would have to take 144 and 45, add them together, you get 189, and then set up the fraction the way that it's asking. What is the fraction of the total weight of vegetables and fruit is the weight of the vegetables sold? So we sold $45 in vegetables and 189 total. And then you need to put that in simplest form, divide both by 9. You end up with 5/21.